Next up, we'll be talking about reality checks and how to do them properly. Now, I'm going to assume that the extreme majority of people seeing this video right now are already very much aware of what reality checks are. If you don't know what they are, just do a quick Google search, reality checks, lucid dreaming, and you'll find everything you need to know there. So here he has 5 steps of doing a reality check properly. So of course, before you even get to step 1, you have to pick what reality check it is you're going to want to be doing. And these 5 steps go for both, doing your reality checks when you're awake, and then again, when you're in dream as well. So step number 1, ask yourself if you are dreaming. Step number 2, observe your surroundings for a moment while telling yourself that everything you see could be a dream. If possible, allow a feeling of awe and wonder to surface. Another thing that can work pretty good here too is mentally try to check in with yourself and realize, what were you doing just before doing this reality check, or where are you coming from? What are you doing now, and where do you plan on going? Because a lot of time in dreams, we're jumping from like scene to scene to scene. Doing a little mental check like that for me has worked, as my reality check just right there in the moment. We're like, hey, where was this coming from? Oh wait, I can't remember. That's kind of odd. Maybe I am dreaming. Then I can go ahead and get lucid there. Step number 3, and this is an interesting one because step number 3 and number 5 are 2 great tips that never ever really crossed my mind before, which is another good reason why it's always good to continue to read different books, do research, and learn more, even when you are more seasoned in the practice. But anyway, step number 3, state to yourself what reality check you're going to do and what the results will mean. So for example, if you're going to be doing the nose pinch test, right? State, I'm going to plug my nose and try to breathe. If I can breathe through a plugged nose, I am dreaming. All right, step number 4, perform the action of the reality check. And then step number 5, which is another great tip that never crossed my mind until reading this awesome book right here, state the result. So I could not breathe with my nose plugged, so right now I am awake. And remind yourself to remain attentive in case you are dreaming later. He also puts in here how it's good to assume that you are dreaming whenever you're doing your reality check. So even like, when you're positive, you're awake. Try to assume that you're dreaming until proven otherwise. Then he also talks a bit about reality checks versus stabilization techniques, where sometimes people just getting into the practice can kind of confuse the two. But really, reality checks are there just to have a test and a way for you to test out your environment and where you are right now to prove to yourself if you're dreaming or not. If you do your reality check and you are dreaming and you figure out you're dreaming at that point, there's really no need for you to continue to do reality checks once you're lucid. But at that point, you just focus on trying to maintain your one-step removal, try to keep that lucid awareness intact. And then if you are going to be doing anything such as, doing another reality check, what would be better than that really is once you get lucid is just to do different stabilization techniques, right? So in the previous video, I know I talked about it. It'll be coming up here again later on in one of these chapters that we haven't gotten to yet. But he'll talk about the different stabilization techniques that he likes to do when in dream. So he likes this one a lot where like he'll run his hands across things within the dream environment. There's even another one where you can kind of like rub your hands together as a nice way to kind of stabilize the dream. Or another one that I like and probably my main go-to over the years has been what I just referred to now as like my active staring technique. Go ahead and search my YouTube channels for it and just type in active staring. I'm sure you'll find some videos. Way back in the day when I was talking about that technique, I didn't have that name picked out for it yet. So I do have older videos where I've talked about it but called it something else. And then another stabilization technique that I really like is I'll look at my feet as I'm walking and just, take a few steps and repeat to myself as I'm doing that, this is my floor. That works really great at stabilizing my dreams. And it also works good to like, if you have to get up to something really high in the air, you can use that technique to walk in the air or, walk up a wall or walk on a ceiling or something like that as well. So, yeah, great tip there. Reality checks are really great. Something else though, and I'm pretty sure he brings it up in this book at some point. Again, we haven't gotten to it yet, but I'm pretty sure I remember him talking about it. But as you get more seasoned in the practice, at least I found it to be for myself, and I'm pretty sure he says it for him as well, the need to do constant reality checks really starts to fall off. Like most of the time now when I'm in dream, like just doing the simple mental check or getting a sense or feel of it, I can tell if I'm dreaming or not without having to do a reality check to really prove if it is or not. If anything, I like doing reality checks nowadays when I'm awake, at least, just to kind of keep lucid dreaming more on my mind, stay in the habit of doing it. And then every so often, it will aid me in my lucid dreams. But the vast majority of the time nowadays, I don't really need it. I just like it more to, put that random alarm generator on my phone throughout the day. So when it goes off, I can hear it and, bring dreaming to my mind. And the more it's on my mind, the more likely I'll be dreaming about it later on when I'm sleeping and hopefully get lucid at that point on. Anyway, rambled on there for a bit, but until the next video, keep the lucid dreaming practice legit.